I made a video about an abusive friend with the fake name Ruby. Well, back in the day, in addition to her and me, we also had a third friend that I don't think I mentioned. If I did, it was very briefly. Because her real name is that of a spice, I believe, we're going to give her the fake name Garlic. Good name for her. So Garlic was like 7 years older than me and Ruby, but she didn't act that way. She acted more like an immature 12-year-old, and that stayed with her for the next 7 years. Ironically, Ruby and I were both 13 when we first met her, and she was like college age. And she claimed not to be autistic, but her behavior kind of said otherwise. I mean, when we role-played together, she would make the characters she role-played soil themselves, even if they were completely serious and or dark characters, like Samurai Jack. Note that she never used Samurai Jack in our role-plays. I'm just using him as an example. But yeah, that kind of tells you everything you need to know about her. Now, of course, I'm not a psychology expert, so I'm absolutely not saying it was certain she was autistic. I don't think I should be saying might have been autistic to begin with. I'm just going by what I remembered from her behavior. So, yeah, she was really immature. So one day, I started going on MSN with one of my friends from school, if you could call her that. We were going to give her the fake name Helga. Now, Helga was kind of a cloudhead. She was another one of those people that made my autism radar. What is wrong with my mouth today? So, Helga was one of those people that made my autism radar go off. Either that or it might have been ADHD or a mix of both. But anyway, I figured I could let loose around her and completely be myself. So, I decided to be completely obnoxious with all my obsessions at the time towards her. And eventually, it got on her nerves. So she decided to remove me from her contacts on MSN. So I contacted her one day, but this time I had no intention to be obnoxious, and she did something that was completely out of character for her. She said, "Leave me alone." Now, that's something I know for a fact that someone like her would never ever say, so I just kept on joking around with her, but her responses were always the same: "Stop bothering me. How many times am I going to quit this chat window?" And when I asked her if she was doing okay, or something along the lines of that, she just responded with, "That's why I removed you from my contacts." My heart sank. Now, at the time we were having our counseling sessions together, just to clarify, Hilda is not the same girl who's stalking me today, since I had my counseling sessions with my stalker, which I think a few of you know is where her wanting to stalk me all stemmed from. But back to the story. So, Hilda and I had our counseling sessions together at the time, and I asked Hilda in front of our counselor why she removed me from her contacts, and she mentioned that I spoke about my obsessions a little too much. No, wait, it wasn't a little too much. She said she talks about her obsessions too much. That was exactly what she said. Now, immature me was a little miffed at this, so I decided to have Ruby and Garlic gang up on Hilda, not to bully her, oh heavens no, not to bully her, but just to give her, you know, a bit of a message to not mess with me, because I had two what I thought were good people on my side at the time. So yeah, we started a chat room together, the four of us, but Garlic had to be really stupid and ruin everything. So, as I said, I opened the chat room with the four of us, and Garlic, right off the bat, starts calling Hilda the B word and starts saying all this nasty stuff to her. As you can well imagine, I was pretty upset with how Garlic was acting. So, Hilda goes, good for her, by the way, "You're all failing to hurt my feelings," failing, and she leaves the chat room. The chat between me, Ruby, and Garlic went downhill after that, but that's a whole nother story altogether. Both of them were screwballs in different ways. So, the next time that we had our counseling sessions, Hilda told our counselor everything that happened in the chat room, basically making it out to be my fault, even though it was Garlic that started everything, and I tried to stop her. I never wanted any bullying to come out of this, but of course Garlic had to be stupid. Admittedly, no real punishment came out of this, but I was still a little shaken up when it happened. And that's the end of the story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.